Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss some question answers on the topic circulatory system. Right? First here, write the odd one out. Here you can see Purkinje fibers, AV bundles, means auriculoventricular bundle, auriculoventricular bra, sino-auricular node. From here, the correct option auriculoventricular wall, because others are related with the conduction of waves of contraction and expansion, and auriculoventral valve is related with the structure associated with the heart. Mitral valve, tricuspid valve, semilunar valve, venous valve. Here, venous valve because it is not associated with the heart, it is present in the veins. Aorta, pulmonary artery, carotid artery, dorsal aorta. The correct option is pulmonary artery because it alone carries deoxygenated blood, right? Differentiate mitral valve and semilunar valve. Under mitral valve, it is present between left auricle and left ventricle, whereas semilunar valve, it is present at the base of aorta, not basis. It is base of aorta and pulmonary artery. Second, mitral valve, it regulates the flow of blood from left atrium to left ventricle and prevents its backflow. Whereas in semilunar valve, it prevents backflow of blood from aorta and pulmonary artery into the ventricles, right? Next, differentiate pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation, right? Under pulmonary circulation, circulation of blood from heart to lungs. Under systemic circulation, circulation of blood from heart to different parts of the body. Under pulmonary circulation, the blood is pumped by the right ventricle to the lungs carrying venous blood. Whereas under systemic circulation, the blood is pumped by the left ventricle to the body carrying atrial blood, right? Now the difference between the blood and lymph. Blood, it is the fluid that flows in the blood vessels. Under lymph, it is the fluid which flows in the lymph vessels. Under blood, it contains plasma, RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Under lymph, it contains only the soluble parts of the plasma and WBCs, RBCs absent, right? Now the next one, it contains albumin, globulin and fibrinogen protein, whereas lymph, it does not contain any albumin, globulin and fibrinogen protein. These proteins present, proteins absent, right? Now what is the main basic differences between artery and vein? Arteries are thick walled, veins are thin walled. Arteries, they have narrow lumen, whereas veins, they have wide lumen. Under arteries, walls are muscular and elastic, whereas in case of veins, walls are thin and inelastic. In arteries, no walls present. In veins, walls are present and they prevent backward flow of the blood. Arteries, generally, they are deeply seated inside the body, and veins, they are superficially seated in our body. Artery, they receive blood directly from the heart, whereas veins, they supplied blood to the heart. In arteries, blood flows with the jugs, whereas in case of veins, blood flows without jugs because walls are present. Here walls are absent, so they flows with the jug. Now what is the difference between diastole and systole? Diastole, it is the condition of the heart when the chambers relax, and systole, it is the condition of the heart when the chambers of the heart contract. Systole, diastole, systole, contraction phase of the heart, diastole, the expansion phase of the heart. In diastole condition, When the blood enters the chamber, that's from the left atrium relaxes and blood enters from the pulmonary vein under low pressure. Whereas in systole, it is the condition when the blood flow is pumped out of the heart, when the left ventricle contracts and the blood is pumped to the body under high pressure, is pumped into the body, and here blood is pumped from the body through the pulmonary वेन अंडर लो प्रेशर, मतलब बॉडी से धीरे धीरे ब्लड एट्रियम में आता है, यहाँ पर जैसे उससे ब्लड जो है वो बॉडी में जाता है. नाउ द सेकंड, डिफरेंशिएट ब्लड प्लाज्मा एंड सीरम. Here blood plasma is the blood excluding blood corpuscles and platelets, while serum is blood plasma excluding fibrin, because fibrin, it helps in the clotting of the blood. It takes in the fibrin protein only that helps in the clotting of the blood. Mention the functions. Mitral valve, it regulates the flow of blood from the left atrium to the left ventricle. Valves prevent the backflow of the blood. Pericardial membrane, it protects the heart from external shocks and injuries. Name the vein which enter the liver. It is hepatic portal vein that enters the liver. Name the vein in the human body which carries oxygenated blood. Which carries oxygenated blood, it is only the pulmonary vein. Now the figure represents the human heart in one of the faces. Now here you can see this one, it is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery, it carries impure blood, that is from the right ventricle, it goes into the pulmonary artery. And number 2, this is the dorsal aorta. This is the dorsal aorta arises from here, that is your ventricle, left ventricle. The dorsal aorta arises and blood goes over there. This is the pulmonary vein. From the lungs, blood is poured into the left atrium. This is the left atrium, right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Here through pulmonary vein is poured in the left atrium. From the left atrium, mitral valve is closed. This is closed so that blood from here, they can here, that is the this your left ventricle, it can move up into the, from here it stops and it moves over here into the dorsal aorta. So the name the parts label 1 to 6, I labeled you. 1 is pulmonary artery, 2 is dorsal aorta, 3 is pulmonary vein, 4th is left atrium, 5th is this is in between the auricle and ventricle. Bicuspid valve is present and tricuspid valve present here. This is also closed, though it is not asked. And this is the right ventricle. This is right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. This is the right auricle and this is the left auricle present over here. Now the next question arises over here, that what do the arrow indicates in the journal? This arrow indicates the flow of F. They flow of, it is the one word, flow of blood in and out of the heart. It is indicated. What part are parts of the heart at contraction in this phase? Here right and left ventricles. Right and left ventricles, they are at the contraction phase. And how many valves in this phase are closed? 2 are bicuspid valve and tricuspid. This is your bicuspid, mitral valve, bicuspid valve and tricuspid valve. These valves are closed. What type of blood flows through the parts marked 1 and 2? In your 1, the venous blood flows, it is deoxygenated, and in part 2, atrial blood flows. This the part 2, atrial blood flow, it is the oxygenated blood. Now the diagram below represents here certain category of the blood vessels, showing the role of special structure in their wall. Name the kind of blood vessels shown here. What are these? These are the veins, because it has the wall, and walls are present in the veins. What is the structure shown inside the blood vessel? They are the pocket walls are shown. What is the role of this structure? To prevent backward flow, because they carry deoxygenated blood, so it is necessary the backward flow of the blood should be prevented. Are these structures present in any other kind of vessel? If so, name it. Yes, they are present in lymph vessels also, so that the lymph vessels also cannot flow back. Lymph vessels, they are also not supposed to flow back because they carry deoxygen. Towards which side of the figure? Top, bottom is top, heart located. Naturally, it is located towards the top. At top side, the heart is located. Now see, name the blood vessel which entering the kidney and leaving it, and give three differences in the composition of blood in these two blood vessels. See, renal artery, it enters the kidney, and renal vein leaves the kidney. Because जो kidney में जो आती है उसको हम renal बोलते हैं. Renal means entering to the kidney. Renal vein, it has less urea. Renal artery, it has more urea. Renal vein has less oxygen. Renal artery, it has more oxygen because that oxygen is consumed by the artery. It has more CO2, it has less CO2. Now in the diagram shows the types of blood vessels. Now see the rounded one, they are the RBCs, red vessel. There is a multi-shaped nucleus, multi-layer, there's a nucleus, they are the basophil. Neutrophils, it is multi-lobed nucleus, it is 2 or 3 lobed nucleus. Neutrophils, they have multi-lobed nucleus. Lymphocytes, they have rounded nucleus. Monocytes, they have horseshoe shaped nuclei. And eosinophils, they have bilobed nucleus. Platelets, they are the smallest cells present over there. Now here, label the parts given in the diagram. Now you see, this is the TS of artery. Because narrow lumen, broad lumen. Narrow lumen, it is the artery, and broad lumen, it is the vein. And single layer, it is your capillary. Outer layer, it is known as tunica externa. Middle layer, tunica media, and the inner one, tunica internal, whether artery or vein on both. And this inner layer, it is made of endothelium cells. Single layer of epithelial cells are present over there. They are present where the simple exchange of the materials occurs in the body. Artery, it transports oxygenated blood from lungs to the different parts of the body. Vein, it transports deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body back to the. In capillary, exchange of gases occurs. Right? Now, name and state the position of any two walls in the human heart, that is bicuspid wall between left auricle and left ventricle, tricuspid wall right auricle and right ventricle में tricuspid wall होता है, और bicuspid wall left auricle and left ventricle, that is the bicuspid, or bicuspid wall is also known as mitral valve. Now differentiate between RBCs and WBCs on the basis of their function. See, RBCs, they help in transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide, while WBCs help in protection of the body against infections from the germ. RBC, transport of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. WBCs, they help in protection against the infection and germ. Respiratory pigment in the human body, hemoglobin, because oxygen combined with hemoglobin in the RBCs, and then only it is transported to different parts of the body. Name the blood vessel that supply oxygenated blood to the liver. It is the hepatic artery. Name the process by which leukocytes squeeze out through the walls of capillaries. The process is known as diaphoresis. The wall of the heart is made up of cardiac muscles. As you know, cardiac muscles are present only in the heart. And the element required for clotting of blood, element is calcium. Why are capillaries thin walled? Capillaries are thin walled so to facilitate, so that easily exchange of materials is between the blood and the tissues occurs in the body. Right? Now, what do you mean by the term double circulation of blood in mammal? See, double circulation means the blood flows twice through the heart before the oxygenated blood completes one round of the body. Oxygen, this blood from different parts of the body comes into the heart. From the heart, it goes into the lungs. From the lungs, again back into the heart. And then from heart, again it goes to the different parts of the bodies, and from different parts of the back. So then it completes one cycle. So completing it one cycle, blood moves in the heart 2 times. So that is what termed as a double circulation, right? What is diastole? Diastole is the condition of the heart when it is in the relaxed state. What is the lifespan of the RBCs? It is 120 days. Name a soluble protein found in plasma that helps in clotting of blood. It is fibrinogen protein. Name the disease in which blood fails to clot naturally. That is the disease naturally it fails to clot. That is hemophilia. In hemophilic person, blood takes 24 to 48 hours for clotting, and this much is sufficient. Entire blood flows from the body, or continuously blood should be supplied from outside the differentiate between pleura and pericardial on the basis of the, see, pleura is located around the lungs, it is the covering membrane of the lung, while pericardium is located around the heart, and they protects the pleural, it protects the lungs, and pericardium, it protects the heart from external shocks and injuries. Name the phase of the cardiac cycle in which the ventricles relax, that is the ventricular diastole. Choose the mitral valve, sinoatrial nodes, aorta, pulmonary vein. Now here, the odd one out, it is sinoatrial node because it is the pacemaker and is a regulatory function, that is the functioning of heart is regulated by it. Others, they are parts associated with the heart. They are parts of the heart, whereas sinoatrial lead acts as a pacemaker, which is the regulatory function that regulates the functioning of the heart. Initially, the heart function wall started from it only. Okay. Now, just let us see the other question. Now, look at this diagram. Now, diagram shown here, section through the heart. Blood vessel Y is an artery. Here, blood vessel Y is an artery because it branches into two blood vessels. It has a wall. It carries blood away from the heart. ये blood vessel जो है heart से बाहर ले जा रही है. Part X is ventricle. Part X is a ventricle. Ventricles, they pump blood out of the heart. Ventricle जो है blood heart के बाहर ले जाती हैं. The function of valve B, this is the valve B. It allows atrium to fill with the blood before it keeps blood flowing smoothly to the disease, prevent blood from the lungs mixing with the blood. It stops blood returning to the atrium and the ventricle. ये यहाँ पर ये जो आपका है ये कौन सा है, बाइकस्पिड वॉल्व है. तो जब यहाँ से ये आपके लेफ्ट एट्रियम से लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल में आता है तो इट स्टॉप द ब्लड, जिसकी वेंट्रल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेंगी तो वेंट्रल एरोटा से बॉडी में ब्लड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट है. द फंक्शन ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर W, this one, this prevent mixing up. This one, it is the heart by which blood from right side cannot go to the left, and from left side it cannot go to the right side. It prevents mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now here the diagram shows some parts, match the words. Now see, these are RBCs. Structure 4, RBCs, they transport oxygen. Structure 2, liquid part is plasma that transports urea. And the rounded number 3, they are blood platelets that helps in blood clotting. And the number 1, it is the WBCs. It ingests microorganisms and helps in protecting your body against the infection. Right? Now here, just see this question. Blood flows through the organs of the body in the blood vessel called capillary. Drawing alongside, so the red blood cells transport mainly oxygen. Plasma transports, what plasma transport? Urea produced by the kidney to the liver. White blood cells, they ingest microorganisms that have entered, means helps in protection against the body. Which of the parts shown in the drawing have a nucleus? White blood cell. RBCs are non-nuclear, nucleus are present at the developing state, but mature RBCs, the nucleus are absent. They come out white blood cell to fight against infection, and again they move inside to kill the germs. Now see this diagram. Under this diagram, name the parts labeled 1, 2 and 4. Now see, 1, it is the pulmonary artery. 2, it is the pulmonary vein. Number 4, it is the renal artery, goes to the kidney. And number 6, it is the hepatic artery. Give the number and name of the vessels which contains maximum amount of urea few hours after the protein rich meal. That is the hepatic portal vein. Number 7, it is the hepatic portal vein. It contains the maximum amount of urea after few hours. Draw a neat label diagram of the cross section view of the blood vessels. Number 3. Number three is a vein blood vessel. We have already studied. Mention two structural differences between vessel 3 and blood vessel 8. Structural difference. Lumen is narrow over the in the artery. Lumen is broad over here. Here they have thin wall. They are thick walled. Right. This we have already studied. Now, just you see this diagram. The following simplified diagram refers to the outline of the circulation of blood in mammals. Study the diagram. Several hours after taking a meal containing a lot of protein, which vessel will contain the highest concentration of the urea? Number 7, that is hepatic portal vein. Now, which vessel would contain the highest concentration of amino acids and glucose soon after the matter? That is the number 4, it is the hepatic vein. Which vessel will contain the smallest number of blood vessels per unit volume? It is the portal vein. The smallest, number 7, that is the portal vein, hepatic portal vein. In which vessel will the blood carry the most oxyhemoglobin? It is the 9th number. This one. This one. It is pulmonary vein, which blood carry the most oxyhemoglobin, which coming from the lungs, which is coming from the heart to lungs, it is carries. So number 1 will be there, not 1. From lungs to the heart back, this vein contain the, it is the pulmonary vein. It is the pulmonary vein. It carries the highest most oxygen. I hope everything is clear. In the next one, I will discuss some more questions on that. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me. For the structure of the detail, you can see the videos of there of class 8 circulatory system. I put it there. I have explained the structure of the heart, blood vessels, blood clotting, blood. For the its detail, you can see those videos to consult. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again, we will meet in the next video. Thank you.